Winifred, just lay down. Just lay down. Hi, readers. Welcome back. Welcome to July. Welcome to the what I'm going to read in July video that may or may not end up being what I read. I'm really struggling with putting this TBR out this month. I don't know why. I mean, a couple of them I had already chosen that I was going to read, so those are easy and I'm excited about them, but I'm also just there's a couple of things. One, I love mood reading. Two, I have some things that are on the list of books that I recommended to the library are put on hold, so those could come in and disrupt everything. The Splendid and the Vile might come back onto my list, so I may get back to that. But yeah, I'm not quite sure how this is going to go, but I have a stack of 5 books that I'd like to consider getting to, and we'll see how my mood is, I guess. So the first one is a book that I chose, and I'm actually going to put this on the Reading Rush Readathon, I think. So I'm going to put it toward the end of the month. This is The Good Daughter by Alexander Burt, and I chose it in my Advent check-in, mid-year check-in video, and I chose 2 books from that video, and this was one. So this is a thriller, and it's about a girl named Dahlia who had kind of a rough childhood, and she has to go back into the place where she was raised, into Aurora, Texas, and her mother was apparently not well, and she had some secrets, and she's going to find out more about her mom. So the Reading Rush TBR will be separate, but this is going to fulfill one of those prompts, which you'll find out later, but it is going to stay on the list because I already pre-chose it. This is, I'm hoping to get to, and I think I can get to it, and this is Pearls by Chris Johnson. It's a local, I think, self-published author. This book was given to me by a friend. She popped it onto my porch one day, but she asked me one night when I was taking a walk if I would be willing to read it and review it, and I am. So I'm curious about it, and you know, I'm not like in a big hurry to do it, and I think he's doing some book events locally, some signings and things, so it's probably good that I get to it sooner than later. It is the story of the mafia in New Orleans, and there's a murder case, and the attorney John Hart is representing the boss of the New Orleans mafia. Is there a New Orleans mafia? I have no idea. But there is always a rumor that there is, and there was a rumor that there was a Dixie Mafia here in Mississippi. So I don't know, maybe. Surprisingly, I am drawn toward finishing The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. I started this some time ago. I got this far into it. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know why I didn't complete it, but it was a long time ago, and it was at that time where I wasn't really reading a lot. Work was draining the life out of me and not doing the work that I'm doing now. So I just didn't finish it, but I recently picked up, you may have seen in my haul, I picked up book 3 in this series. And so I thought, maybe it's time to get this read, get it off my TBR because it's still lurking there, I think, and see how I feel about it now. So let me tell you what this is about, since it's been a while. I remember it being about a bookstore and a father and son, that I remember. Barcelona, 1945, healing from war wounds. Daniel, an antiquarian book dealer's son, mourns the loss of his mother, finds solace in a mysterious book called The Shadow of the Wind. He sets out to find the author's other novels, and then he discovers they've all been destroyed. So his seemingly innocent quest opens a door into one of Barcelona's darkest secrets, an epic story of murder, madness, and doomed love. A lot of people love this. My daughter loved it. My cousin, who's really like my niece, loved it. I think there's a way that I can get through this more quickly now too, because I have access to it on other functions and other ebook and audio. So I'd like to finish this and tie up that loose end. But am I going to have to go back to the beginning? Yep. It's really been a long time. So I clearly am not going to be able to start where I left off. Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston is the book that Megan picked for me from the Advent mid-year check-in for me to read this month, 75th anniversary copy. I talked about it more in detail, but Zora Neale Hurston was a fantastic writer. She wrote plays as well as novels. This was written in the 40s, I think, 1937. So a classic piece of literature, really timely right now. It's about a woman. It's a Southern love story sparkling with wit, beauty, and heartfelt wisdom. A woman who refuses to live in sorrow, bitterness, fear, or foolish romantic dreams. A fair-skinned, fiercely independent Janie Crawford and her evolving selfhood through 3 marriages and a life marked by poverty, trials, and purpose. Been on my list for a really long time. Glad I got a copy. Gonna take a look at it now in the summer. And I don't know what time of year it was set in, but it's set in the South, so there's that. In the South, it's always warm, right? And then this one's been on my mind too. So The Last Houseguest by Megan Miranda. I actually pulled a bookmark for it and I put it on my nightstand the other day. It's kind of drawing me in, calling me. It's a story about a girl who's found dead, and it's sort of an apparent suicide, but her best friend from this little town in the Northeast, Little Port, Maine, and they've grown up together in the summers because the girl who's been found dead, who is Sadie, I think, actually would visit in the summers, and her parents owned a house there, and then Avery is the other girl, and they've been friends for years, and so Avery is caught up in this grieving over the death of her friend, and I think maybe it wasn't a suicide. So Megan Miranda, thriller writer, first time for me, I think, of reading anything of hers. It's one of the ones I got a couple of months ago from Book Outlet, and it's probably a good summer read because I think this town is a summer tourist destination. And like I said, if I'm able to get The Splendid and the Vile back, I'm going to try to finish that. I think I'm about a third, maybe close to a half of the way in. And whatever else kind of calls to me. The House at Riverton is still pulling. You can see it right there, still pulling at me. The Lake House by Kate Morton is also still pulling at me, and a friend agreed to send that to me, so that was kind. She's gonna pop that in the mail at some point. I'm watching Good Omens, and I'm also interested in that, and I have that over here, I think. Yeah, that's Lisa's copy. She loves that book and the series. So that's something I'm curious about, and I want to get back to, look, they're all right around me, Drums of Autumn, which is part of my reread of Diana Gabaldon's novels, so that I can catch up and get to these that I have not read yet, because there is another one coming out allegedly soon. So those are kind of my other, I might just ditch something off this list and pick something up from that stack. I did enjoy Peter Swanson, reading Peter Swanson's book, 8 Perfect Murders. Wouldn't mind looking at something else that he's written, and there's a new Riley Sagar. So I'm really curious about that. And I might haul a book that's just released called The Vanishing Half by, I'm trying to think of the author, let me look, Britt Bennett. I added it to my TBR the early part of June, and it is something I could purchase with a credit on Libro. It's a novel about twin sisters who choose to live in different worlds, one black and one white. So that's interesting and gotten a lot of buzz. And it has 4.48 stars on Goodreads, which I noticed the other day and said, whoa, I need to get that. So I think I might get it on audio book from Libro. We'll see. Oh, you know, another book I picked up and I forgot about was The Family Upstairs. I picked that up just at the end of the month, didn't get very far in, but I like that too, Lisa Jewell. And I'd like to get a little bit farther into that and see how I feel about it. And I can listen to that too. So many books, so little time, or at least so little time I've been devoting to them. But because all these books are books I kind of am thinking about, they might end up on the Reading Rush TBR. I have the categories written down. I need to kind of see how they would play in to that. So stay tuned. Like I said, I'll have a separate TBR for that kind of once I figure it out, and we'll go from there. We'll see. So good luck with your July reading plans, and good luck with the heat wherever you are and the weather. And as always, have a happy reading day. Bye.